Ladies and gentlemen, entering the ring from some unknown place is me. Hey folks, how is everybody on this fine Friday and this week of no streams because I've been lazy and distracted and busy with other things? So, all things considered, it's been a good week. I now have a job. Yay. It's a temp, but it's still a job. Better than nothing, and it pays. And boop, there we go. Hey, you can see my face. So Jero, thank you! Thank you for the follow! Yes, woo, money! Money's good. Money lets me buy more games. Lets me stream more games. All that wonderful stuff. Yay. 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 So Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Father, is the first in a... Cat, what are you doing? Is the first in a series of 3 games that came out, God only knows how long ago in the 90s. And technically the noughties, I think. No, late 90s. It started in the early 90s and ended up in the late 90s when 3D shit was starting and got really wonky. Because Sierra Interactive was just going nuts with their 3D shit as much as possible. But this is a 20th anniversary edition. So this was made a couple years ago by the same original devs. So the original creator, the writer, the composer, etc. So all the music's been reworked and it's just updated and everything's been updated and it's still amazing. So we're gonna jump right into that because this is a point and click and I love it. The backstory, which makes no sense until much later in the game. Urban Street. Rare books. The main protagonist dead. Or is he? Not quite Animorphs. And now we go into the kick-ass music. Credits exactly laid out as they were in the original. It should sound familiar, Ron. I play it all the fucking time. It's part of my playlist. This and the original game version. Some of the best music in my library came from this series. Really? You've heard it elsewhere? The only thing that annoys me about this version is that they cut it instead of making it loop properly. Which annoys me so much on the actual soundtrack version. Because they don't even have it loop once before fading into nothing. All Out Boy song. I don't know, Ron, that seems a bit far-fetched to me. Bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Day 1. I dreamt of blood upon the shore, of eyes that spoke of sin. The lake was smooth and deep and black, as was her scented skin. Every one of these blurbs is actually a clue to what you do on that day in the game. Also, the game is fully voice acted, so yay!
Mm-hmm. I bet. Just a minute. It lives, I see. Do you want to speak with Lolita? I'm sorry, but Gabriel's allowed. I mean, he's out. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better. Bye-bye.
I love this game.
Good morning. You look like hell. Did you have another nightmare last night?
Yes, because having nightmares is what I do, apparently. 7th damn night in a row.
I told you, it's that voodoo book you're researching. That stuff can seriously screw with your karma.
Unfortunately, I don't think my readers would go for a horror novel about fluffy bunny rabbits. So voodoo...
Well, Jero, this one is only a couple years old. I think 2016 it was.
Wisconsin, doesn't she?
Bite me.
Hey, what goes on in your bed stays in your bed.
But it was a small production to, just a small staff to do the redo. The score bar shows your score. Points are earned through key events, solving puzzles, etc., etc. Move your cursor on the screen, find hotspots, click the walk and double-click to teleport. He's Cajun, Ron. You can't hate the Cajun. The pause button pauses. Journals button displays his journal, which records his thoughts as you play. Journal records clues and important information. Journal hints tab is provided guidance. This button hides all the other buttons. Inventory bag opens your inventory, as does pressing I. Left of the bag is your active items, which you can select from your inventory. Clicking on the active item lets you interact with it. Item wheel.
Today's newspaper is on the counter.
Look at it.
Times dated June 18th, 1993. The Aquarius horoscope says, potential storms ahead. Proceed with caution and do not get involved with anything new at this time.
Right.
Points. So voodoo murderers are a thing.
The box has Gabriel's name on it, written in his grandmother's handwriting. Gabriel's father's old sketchbook sits on the top.
Take it.
Gabriel
Look
looks
at it.
fondly at his father's sketchbook and charcoal pencil. Images haunt the pages
Show
of
them.
that sketchbook, the way they must have haunted his mind. The images touch a deep chord in Gabriel. So familiar are they that he finds it hard to believe they aren't from his own subconscious.
I wonder why. There must be something about that. Especially this wonderful thing right here. Yeah, they actually sprung for an actual voice cast for this game. Tweezers, take them.
I'm gonna take the tweezers for a bit.
Good. You're beginning to look a bit scruffy.
And then all of these are weird Easter eggs that relate to the other games. So for example,
Those keychains were for a promo I tried once, before I realized it was hopeless. Gracie's resume. She was way overqualified. And also the only person who applied. I practically own stock in these guys.
yes, shirts.
You can't take 2 steps down Bourbon Street without ending up with a strand of beads. Fun times.
Sexy times.
I don't use hairspray. Nope, not me. Just a few self-help books. That one on top was a joke gift from Mosley. I forget where that came from, but seems like a nice place to visit.
Germany.
I always had a thing for St. George, the one who slew a dragon. Yeah, it's probably bigger than this little guy, though. That's from Gran. She likes to think it means someone's watching over me. I'm not so sure about that, but I don't have a heart to get rid of it.
Oh, where'd my cursor go? My cursor left the game momentarily.
My spare motorcycle gloves. Someone left those here after Mardi Gras. Someone left those here after Mardi Gras.
Newspaper
A
article.
interest piece on the store. It didn't garner the sympathy sales I was hoping for. Mind if I borrow the magnifying glass?
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
The Blake Backlash series. My literary claim to fame, such as it is. Not so lucky for the rabbit, was it?
But yes, the dragon is kind of a hint for later, as is the Germany snow globe, as is the Germany postcard. Udon, party beads, are we in New Orleans? Yes, we are! During the voodoo murders. Hi, Jin.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Dang it, where's my cursor again? Voodoo.
What do you know about voodoo?
I didn't know much of anything about it until you started researching it for your book. Now I know that it's active in the city. There's that shop and museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
Zin, it was remade for the 20th anniversary, so that was 3 years ago now? It was the original producer, writer, composer. They all ganged up together and made a new studio. And this was one of their games for a Kickstarter.
Voodoo murders.
Just what I read in the papers, same as you.
Did you find any good voodoo resources for me?
The best in the city are supposedly the Dixieland Drugstore and the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in the French Quarter.
How would I ever manage without you?
You? Give me a break. The devil himself couldn't change you.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps. Like yours.
And a riveting personality, I'm sure. If you need any more research done, just ask. It's not as though we're swamped with customers.
Points.
Do you have messages for me?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't he?
Especially with you. What did he want?
He told me to tell you that his mother's maiden name is Humphrey, and that he left some photos for you at the station, at the front desk.
It's about time.
Let me guess. This has to do with the voodoo murders, right?
No,
Some kind
of course
inside
not.
Police information? Did you tell him you'd put him in your new book?
Maybe. A writer has a certain obligation to his readers, you know.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main character's a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with a really big...
That's enough. Thanks.
Do you have messages for me?
You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter. He was calling from Germany. He told me it was urgent. Maybe you should give him a call.
Call Germany. Like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
Well, fine.
People
Let's
from the
just not
90s
the
wrote this
German lottery
dialogue.
for pitiful American authors.
From like 1992-93.
Do you have messages for me?
Your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What did she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great. We had a nice little chat about you.
Grace.
Don't worry, I didn't go into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
And she sent over that box on the table for you.
Do you have messages for me?
Dana called and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Toss 'em.
Okie dokie. Well, that's all the messages for now.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
What do you want to know?
Everything.
How come we haven't gone out yet?
I'm still waiting around for that lobotomy. Soon as I get it, I'll let you know, okay?
How do you like working at St. George's Books?
Well, it's not exactly a huge intellectual challenge. Although the math in your record books could confuse Einstein. Still, I love old books. And it's a nice way to pay the bills while I explore the city for a summer. If you ever pay me, that is.
What do you do after work?
I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You can go overboard with this improving yourself stuff. You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
Oh, I suppose I should just allow my mind and body to atrophy.
Works for me.
Works for me.
How old are you?
Old enough to know about men like you.
Tell me about
Just
anything.
tell me.
I'm desperate.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
Just tell me anything at all.
I came to New
Yes.
Zealand because I'd read so much about it. I thought spending a few months here would clear my head.
Just tell me anything at all.
I've been studying Tai Chi for 10 years. It's a very spiritual discipline. I'm sure discipline of any sort isn't something that would appeal to you, Gabriel.
And that's it.
Nothing, I guess. Never mind. So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say? I refuse to be bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost speak otherwise.
Wonderful dialogue. The 90s were a wonderful place.
Gabriel looks at the cash register, checking for cobwebs. Gabriel opens the cash register to examine the take, or in the case of St. George's Books, the mistake.
I trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
Take the
Gabriel,
money.
That's all the change I have. Touch it and you can kiss your hand goodbye.
Would I do that to you?
Yes.
Three snakes in a skull. Gabriel's father painted it.
What a wacky offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
I think that's everything. Bookshelf.
Dry Drachen Krieken in meinen Schlaf, die Seele wühlen sie, lebendig zum Frost. Feurigen Atems, gespaltener Zunge.
My God, they actually read it out.
That's nice. Kinda creepy, though. Who's the author?
Heinz Ritter. I'm not sure what it says, but I get the feeling this guy was one sick puppy.
Points! Come on, go back. No, not like that. There we go.
Hey, that's interesting. Snakes can sense their prey by vibration.
Did you know that medieval legends about dragons and giant worms are actually based on snakes? You know, dragons, devils, sea monsters. They've always been associated with snakes.
Grace, get alive.
You big old nerd.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Reise means a journey. I wonder if I'll ever use this stuff.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Dry means 3.
It's a
Gabriel
clue.
leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Himmel means heaven. Huh.
Come on, where's the other
Gabriel
clue?
leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Reise means a journey.
Yeah, it's not gonna do it.
If I'll ever use this stuff.
And that's it. Heinz Ritter. Das Lyrik. It's a clue to later on in the game.
If you try to look down my shirt one more time, I'm leaving.
Just trying to refresh my memory.
I know what you're trying to refresh, and it isn't your memory. Get down.
Oop, didn't want to double click. The bedroom.
I might need a flashlight.
It's perfectly 90s.
I might be able to use this black shirt.
I know all the things I need already. I've played this game so many times. Just not this version.
I'll take this hair gel. You never know when you'll need a touch-up.
What, no points? Oh, there we go.
Can't. Writer's block.
Yeah, we'll see if there's new puzzles or not.
The Creole Grandams will hold their annual Gardenia Festival in Tea this coming Tuesday at the Sons of Burgundy Hall. Admission is free. At Giant Discount Bookstore, we discount every title 50%. When you see our selection and prices, you'll never want to shop with those little guys again. You're listening to KLEB in Nolens, where we play the best music.
And that's why he's going out of business. I think that's everything I need in here. What am I clicking on?
There could be a secret passage under the doormat, but we didn't have time.
Oh, Lord.
Dramatic, isn't it? Gabriel didn't eat for 3 weeks after splurging on that coat. He has a thing for black leather.
A ting.
I'm out of here. Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
Uh-huh.
Who wears a giant black leather jacket in the middle of summer in New Orleans? All right, where are we going first? That's where we are. Aren't we missing somebody? I think we're missing Grandma Knight.
The Dixieland drugstore is closed until tomorrow morning.
Oh,
Posted on the door of the museum is a sign saying closed. Their hours list that they will open again tomorrow.
okay, that's different. Also different, we are seeing outside instead of inside.
time for a trash can. Must have been on sale at Cops R Us. Gabriel is standing in the lobby of his friend Mosley's precinct. It smells like a cross between a hospital and a brewery.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
All right, Ron, you take care. Talk to you later.
What do you
Go through the
know
list.
about voodoo?
Me? Nothing. I'm a Catholic boy.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I'll tell you, I'm glad as hell it's not Mardi Gras. If it weren't for that 1 month a year, being a cop in New Orleans would be a real pleasure.
Nolans?
As it is, I'd rather stick behind this desk.
I was supposed to pick up some photos from Detective Mosley at the front desk.
Is that right? And who are you?
My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Yeah, I got something for you, all right. As soon as you're done talking, I'll give it to you.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's out at a crime scene. Sorry.
Tell me more.
Crime scene. Is it related to the voodoo murders?
Crime scene information is police confidential. We don't need any more looky-loos than are probably already there.
Tell me about yourself.
Who, me? I'm the desk sergeant, Frick. Why?
Frick?
That's right. You got a problem with that?
Not at all.
Phone, what are you doing? Chat.
Hey, nice precinct.
Think so, huh? That's peachy. That means more to me than you could know.
Give me the photos now.
Here's that envelope for you, Gabriel Knight.
Thanks.
Come on, open up.
The envelope from Mosley is a plain manila one. It feels pretty light. Gabriel opens the manila envelope and finds 2 photographs. The photograph of Mosley was apparently taken upon his graduation from the police academy. He had hair then. One of the photos from Mosley is an official Voodoo Murders crime scene shot, a graphic close-up of a victim.
Who's missing his heart? Now, how was it that I figured out? Ah, yes, I remember now. We go to the park where there is this bugger.
Good day, officer.
Yeah, you too. Keep moving.
Hey there, nice beat. I dig it.
You
The drummer does
white-faced
not
geek! You
respond.
want to eat my fist?
I know what you mean, Zing. It's kind of weird. Alright, let's look at the
bronze
statue.
statue of Andrew Jackson marks the center of Jackson Square. Since Gabriel can't read lips, he's disinclined to start a conversation.
Knock it off, you, before I shove this washboard down your throat.
Oh, yes, now I remember what I have to do. I think. Mime, come with me. That's right. Follow me. Follow me. No. No, you're gonna go for the lady. Back. No, come back.
Well, I never. Leave me alone, you man.
Now he's gonna go all the way back. God damn it. I gotta remember to stop double clicking. Follow me. Follow me. Come on, you gotta go annoy somebody for me. There we go.
Hey, cut that out. I told you to stop that. All right, mister, you want some of this? Why, you little...
God, that looks so weird in 3D. The park looks so much smaller. There we go.
Gabriel picks up the headset and listens.
Ambulance 91, have you located the crime scene? They've radioed for you 3 times. Did you say it was north of the Lake Retreat Country Club? South, Lakeside Drive, north of the Piedmont Pier, south of the Country Club. Man, I don't know if it's the clouds out here today or what. Good thing this guy's already dead. Everyone's having trouble. Must have been hallucinogens in the coffee this morning. It's just so misty out here or something. Hey, I see a squad car. I got a molly. Thank God. Have a good one, 91.
Interesting.
Hey, you, get away from that bike.
Sorry.
I got what I need.
Well, I never. Leave me alone, you man.
You man. Where my cursor keeps disappearing. Come on. There we go. You man.
Hey, mostly.
Huh? Knight, you wiener, I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Uh-huh. Well, I guess I can let you see it for the book, but don't tell anyone, huh? Definitely another voodoo murder. Same MO and no freaking clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
Oh, that's disgusting. Isn't this a rather public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're freaking ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports and nothing. Now,
Mysterious
who the hell
limousine.
is that? Good day, Miss Getty.
What's going on, officer?
Detective Mosley, ma'am. We got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about.
I see. Thank you, Detective. And good day, gentlemen.
I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Molly at Getty. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Nah, nobody ever sees or hears nothing. I told you. Besides, you just don't go around bothering people like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir.
Well, let's get
About
the
right
meat
to that,
wagon
sir.
moving then. Stick around and take notes for the book if you want. Watch out for the muck and the water moccasins, though. If you want to talk, I'll be at the station tomorrow.
Thanks.
Why is he getting right into the back seat of the car? This is wrong. I want to do this. And sketchbook on the marks.
Let me try to copy this down.
I gotta remember where all the clues are now.
There's a pattern to the lines in the sand, but only one small area is clearly defined.
Ugh, that's a lot of blood.
Because the guy's missing a heart.
Looks like there was something here. I should take a closer look.
A closer look, you say?
The magnifying glass is an expensive...
No? Oh, this is interesting. Actually making me look for stuff. Oh, there we are.
It looks like a scale of some sort. The scale is too delicate to pick up by hand.
Ah, you're making me use the tweezers. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Damn it. Tweezers, pick it up.
Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small, iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me what kind.
Boop-a-doop-boop boop. Need that for later. Point and click games, the kings of... I'll need that for later, so I might as well take it sometime.
I'll take some of this clay with me.
Because I might need it. I don't know what for, but it might come in handy. I think that's everything.
Lakeshore Drive runs around the entire lake. This is a particularly lonely stretch, but it's still a public road. Lake Pontchartrain is impressive. It measures 24 miles across and stretches as far as
damn
the
it.
eye can see.
Pontchartrain, no, Pontchartrain. Exit to map, I think that's everything I need. Open tomorrow, open tomorrow. Back to St. George's.
Hey, Grace, here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
Come on.
The old desk is one Gabriel picked up near a dumpster. Not too shabby, huh? But okay, maybe it is.
Grace, we must talk.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Research.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
Could you see what you can find out about a woman named Malia Getty?
The name Getty sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, you know, stuff about the voodoo murders. If you can get an address.
The murders, right. I'll see what I can find out.
Yes, the murders. Yes, day one complete.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
Again, giant coats, middle of summer, in the south. Not realistic. scenery is gorgeous in this game, though. The dream again. On to day 2. A mask I wore as I approached, I was what I am not, and though the pattern was unclear, its meaning could be bought. More clues and hints. I wonder what they could mean.
Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen. So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh, it always does that. Never mind.
Ha ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hanged guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous.
Incredibly gorgeous.
A rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is?
Hey, far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West Ingram. That's the Garden District. Estate City.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Getty is the most dangerous-looking diversion I have ever seen. Ouch.
Ugh, men.
90s writing. A newspaper.
Times dated June 19th, 1993. A front-page article describes the most recent of the voodoo murders. Gabriel scans it but learns nothing new. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crime is faked. Gabriel shivers. It looked real enough to him. Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square, called the Plaza d'Armes under French rule. It was used for executions, firing squads, hangings, even impalements and breaking on the wheel. Yikes! Of course, these days, it's mostly a hangout for tourists, street musicians, and local artists. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Chances of a dark star rising on this day. Do not trust your instincts.
I love how those are just
Star rising, all right.
precursors to what's going to happen. I don't remember if it's on this day or the next day that what's supposed to happen with this painting happens.
No safe full of money back there. 3 snakes in a skull. Gabriel's father painted it.
What a wacky offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
No, I don't want to look at the desk. God damn it.
But okay.
Race.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
Nothing new then.
I I can go through the rest of that stuff some other time.
Maybe I come back later and then I'll sell the thing.
I've got some things I need to do.
Good luck.
Drugstore! Best music in the game, right here.
Hello.
Huh?
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Bienvenue, Madame Casanova. Comment ça va? How you be feeling today?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker. I'm certain someone's buried a sleep knot bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink.
Oh god, this accent is so bad.
Now, don't that beat off. I'll need some easy night candles then, huh?
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosary good, sure enough, but you burn them candles too, boy, you gonna whip any no-sleep gree-gree, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them around to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know. Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dame. I've been in misery.
Now you put 9 pinheads up in the little box. Add a pinch of graveyard dust. Put it up under her front post step. That'll turn the trick back on Miss Lefebvre, and she be the one with the bellyache. I got the pins of dust right here if you want them.
If the Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection, I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Of evil.
Though, don't
evil.
proactive neither now, does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It's nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
Tiny little yappy yappy dog.
The sign says, Special St. John's Eve Lagnia. Free bottle of Lover Come Back to Me oil, or Master Gambling oil with every purchase over $50.
Lagnia. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
No stealing sign. That's the thing I need.
To be made from a real crocodile head. To get the mask, Gabriel would have to buy it.
Through the questions.
Is this your stall?
This the Dixieland drugstore. Now own it. Me. Name's Walker. Willie Walker.
Willy Wonka?
Can you tell me what you know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
Do you think I'm stupid? This is a voodoo shop. Look at all this stuff.
These is novelties, curiosities. If people want to think they magic, it's not my concern, you know?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Caprice encore.
What did you say?
Nothing. Them killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
Caprice encore.
What did you mean when you said Caprice encore?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
Do you know
Of course you
anything
could.
about animal masks?
The only one left is Willie Jr. over there, the old crocodile. He's sort of a mascot now, him.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons, boas, so I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
That customer of yours, the little old lady.
Customer?
The woman I saw in here, Madame Casino, you called her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
How did you get into this kind of business?
Now, why should I discuss my business with you, man?
About Willie Jr. Would you be willing to let him go?
Maybe. For $100.
100? You gotta be kidding.
Me and Willie Jr. are very close now. I couldn't part with him for less.
I got what I need.
Welcome, my friend. Hello. I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions...
Who's that voice?
To assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that.
His voice sounds really familiar.
The voodoo shrine is filled with items that both fascinate Gabriel and also make his skin crawl.
Ooh, with a lot more stuff here.
Well, that looks sacrilegious. Wonder who that poor bastard was. Magenta Moonbeam. Voodoo Inn.
A flyer advertising Magenta Moonbeam, a local voodoo inn. Her parlor is on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine.
More places to go to.
This coffin is so small. This coffin is so small. It wouldn't be much of a voodoo museum without a voodoo doll.
A street drummer has settled outside the museum. The back wall displays various voodoo items, such as offerings of fruits to the voodoo deities. That must be Marie Laveau. An authentic-looking pole marks the center of the room. Authentic what? Gabriel isn't sure.
Reminds me of a book critic for the New York Times.
A leather whip hangs from a peg on the wall.
Oh, hurt me.
Lord.
Flickering candles lend an appropriately spooky atmosphere to the museum. An official voodoo wishing stump. Rub it and make a wish, a card says.
Funny, I say the same thing to women.
Do it.
I wish Malia Getty were mine forever. Really, I mean it.
What was that?
Huh? Nothing. Could I ask you a few questions?
That is why I am here.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo, or the voodoo currently practiced in the city.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper. I know they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
Yeah, it does sound like Michael Jordan.
It is the only city in the United States, as far as I am concerned.
No, it's oh god, what's his name? I gotta look it up because it's gonna drive me nuts. It's the same guy who does a lot of voice work for Blizzard. Voice actor Dave Fennoy. That's gotta be him. That sounds so much like him.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It is one of the important ceremonial nights in voodoo.
Do you know what Caprice encore means?
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr. Knight.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum snake, Mr. Knight? They are beautiful creatures. Do you not agree? and the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
Tell me
Oh,
about yourself.
wrong one.
Me?
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
Yes, it's not the original voice actors. It's all brand new voice acting for the 20th edition. They redid everything from scratch.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us just say I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No, the museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
Tell me about anything.
Tell me anything.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Well, that doesn't sound ominous at all.
Then let us discuss something else.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I used to have some antique African totem masks, but they were on the point of disintegration, so I removed them.
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion, formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade. But African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively. The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importings of slaves from that region.
Tell me more.
So how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian Revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Tell me more
Zombie.
about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons, and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances, right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Tell me about her.
Tell me about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaux, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire.
Oh, there's more.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
Current voodoo.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or gree-gree. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in the religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I personally am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo, but it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Woohoo, points. Tell me about hoodoo.
What exactly is hoodoo?
Hoodoo refers to magic folk traditions of the South. Hoodoo is a bastard of voodoo. Many of the gree-gree are similar, but hoodoo does not have the religious aspects of voodoo.
So how's the museum business?
Those who truly seek to understand are few, Mr. Knight, but even one can be an audience.
Sounds about like my shop. So where do you pick up all this stuff?
Oh, here and there. We accept donations of any pertinent items.
Do you ever get any wackos in here?
You mean, besides yourself?
Yeah, besides me.
I do not care to make those kinds of judgments, Mr. Knight. All are welcome here.
You're a big guy, aren't you? You work out, play sports?
I do not play basketball, if that is what you want to know.
Who, me? No, you just look like such a natural athlete.
I do find ways of keeping fit, Mr. Knight. After all, our bodies are temples.
Snake, look at it.
A large, very formidable-looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage.
All right, we are done. No, damn it.
I'll be going.
Come back again.
We got more places to go to now. Let's go see Moonbeam.
The front door of Magenta's home reads, "Attuning with the spirit realm, back on June 22nd.
Oh, joy. All right, let's go to the cemetery then. Recyclable.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah? What can I do for you?
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans, a powerful voodooian and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leave offerings. Then there's the tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from that voodoo museum, he's here at least once a day. But Marie Laveau's tomb isn't the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
Other marked tombs?
You said there were other marked tombs?
Yep. I've seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, plates of peas and corn green, animal parts, human parts even, it look like. Male parts, if you get my meaning.
Ew.
And this is one of the
Ow.
good family crypts, mind you. Odd how them types just pick a spot and stick to it.
Tell me about voodoo.
Can you tell me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
Tell me about the
What do you
murders.
know about the voodoo murders?
Isn't it just awful? Them finding old bodies with the voodoo things around them. I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody trying to cover their tracks is all.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Seem like everyone wants to visit New Orleans at least once in their lives. And they love the cemetery tours. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them aren't poisonous, of course. I don't mind snakes myself, but lots of folks are afraid of them.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
Well, St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of voodoo. Sometimes we get weird goings-on in the cemetery on that night. More often on a few nights before. People taking grave dirt, bones, and who knows what.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yep. Don't know what they do in it, but it can be pretty.
Do you have any idea what Capri Sanko means?
Nope. Can't say that I do.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery, number 1.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs and not in the ground, don't you?
Yep.
The water table's too high. Them coffins will float right out of their graves. Ha! Them dead will go floating right down into the Coda. Of course, if it were Mardi Gras, nobody'd even notice. It's a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War. Back further, too. Take a look around. You'll see.
That's enough. Rick, grab it. Stuff it in the black coat.
Odd-looking marks adorn the Laveau tomb wall.
Boop.
I want a copy of these strange marks.
Hey, it looks like the original art from the game, from the original game.
The marks are reddish in color and remind Gabriel of crosses. They look like they've been here a few days at least. Food, trinkets, and more unsettling things have been left at Marie Laveau's tomb as offerings from believers.
Where do we go for the other?
I don't need to go visit the family tomb today.
Okie? Oh, I saw it. I saw it. There we go. The Gede tomb.
An angel draped dramatically over a stone plinth marks the entrance to a large tomb. The imposing tomb is elaborately labeled Gede. There's a small marble plate near the tomb doors. It's locked shut.
Oh. I think that's everything there.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
Open the gate. Let me through. That stupidly teeny tiny gate.
Hey, hey, hey.
Knight, come on in.
If I remember right, in the original voiced version, Mosley was voiced by Mark Hamill. If I remember right. Oh, that's right. I forgot to do the thing.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Ciao, baby.
I need to mess with the thermometer first. I don't know what 80 degrees is, but...
Hey, mostly.
Knight, I had a feeling you'd show up.
Yes, that's right.
It's hot in here.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer.
Stuff.
Ask away.
Got some stuff.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city, sure. I looked into it a bit at the beginning of this case. But the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all fake. It doesn't have anything to do with the real stuff. I know. I asked some experts.
I know.
Intimidation tactics. That's all.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Lots. Can you be more specific?
Do you know anything about the killers?
At least 20 people attend the killings. We know this from the variety of footprints found at the scenes.
Footprints? Aren't those...
All right, Jero, you enjoy yourself. Have a safe trip to the airport.
Have a suspect in custody first.
Pick up your dad and do all that wonderful shit.
One of the few distinct prints
Have
we
fun.
have. Most of the footprints are smudged, trodden over, unreadable. These guys are so casual in their expertise, it's maddening. Like they know we'll never find them.
How many murders have there been so far?
Thank you,
7
Jero, I
murders
will.
have so far been linked to the voodoo murders case. The first murder occurred about 8 weeks ago. The MO is the same in each murder. Lake Pontchartrain was the 7th.
What kind of evidence have you found?
No fingerprints, a few bare footprints. Found a few fibers, but not many. The weirdest one was leopard fur.
Leopard fur. Describe the crime scenes.
Well, there's the corpse itself, minus the heart. Around where the body was killed, we find marks in flour and blood. There are traces of wax from candles, red and black. Ordinary wax candles, so the lab reports. Also blood and feathers of chickens and goat's blood. And plenty of the victim's own, of course.
What's the coroner say?
The victim's heart is always ripped out of the chest and missing. We haven't located a single one of them.
Lovely. Any idea what they do with them?
Don't even want to know. Also, the coroner says some of the victims had heart attacks before the incision. Literally scared to death. The knife wounds are consistent with a long, narrow, wavy-edged knife. Probably a ritualistic dagger.
Any witnesses?
Nope. There's never been a single witness. No one's even heard a disturbance. It's damned weird. Like they just don't want people to see. And so nobody sees nothing.
He's nothing.
Know anything about the victims?
The victims are all out-of-towners. We still don't know why.
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
Sure, no problem. Okay, anything else?
So much else. So much else.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Is she that red-headed chick that works at Freddy's?
No.
then I don't know her.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Animal masks? You mean like those Halloween masks they sometimes use in robberies?
I don't think so. More like real animals.
Never ran across anything like that.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
That's coming up, isn't it? We get some occasional weirdness in the quarter, but nothing much. Used to have a lot of strange things happen, though, or so I hear.
Does the phrase Caprice encore mean anything to you?
Hell no! Is that French? My mother spoke it, but I always had a hard enough time just speaking English.
True enough.
Alright, so that's gone.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise you?
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
Yes.
All right, I'll go now. Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
Never. I would never do such a thing. Grab the badge. Grab the badge.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Just drink this.
Thanks, tons. I mean it.
Back to the dialogue. Come on.
Okay, anything else?
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really? Great. What'd you think?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You got any more ideas for photos for the book?
Nope.
Nope. I think we have everything we need.
We gotta do that later.
But you shouldn't underestimate the power of beefcake, my friend.
Do you know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those marks around them. We've got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
Can I see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious.
Mysterious.
Talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you could see the file.
Great, that's what I need.
I'll let you get back to it.
Later, Knight.
I think that's her.
Excuse me, officer.
Yes?
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The Voodoo Murders file. Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if you said so.
The most trusting police officers ever.
There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I understand completely.
Gabriel opens and reads the police file.
Evidence. All things which don't make sense on their own.
I'm done.
Yeah, thanks.
Now I go back to Mosley.
Hey, hey, hey.
Whoop.
Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
Can I ask you about...
You're the writer. Ask away.
Damn it. Click again.
About
Photographs.
those photographs you left for me?
So you said. Did you think of any other shots for the book?
Yes.
A cop author photo might be nice.
You and me? Together?
Why not? Of course, you'll have to try to tone down your masculinity.
Well, okay. I'll call the police photographer. Franks, come in here a minute, would you? And bring your camera. I hate to put my coat on. It's so damn hot in here. But a picture's a picture.
AKA, how do we get around this little thing in 3D?
Get a good one, eh, sweetheart?
Sure, sweetheart.
Say chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
Good God, Knight. Make it fast.
Now, grab the file and we can make some copies. With this nice, super modern fax machine. Fax copy machine.
Just wanna check this machine here.
Oop. I go back to that. Put it back, so they do not know.
Would you just get in here? Hurry up, would you?
Okay, ready.
Thanks, hon. Let me know when you get them developed. The photos, that is.
Yeah, sure.
Anything else, Knight?
How about one of me and Officer Franks?
Gee, I don't know. Franks? Just kidding, Franks. You want to get me fired for sexual harassment, Knight?
Well...
Yeah, ha. Now, is there anything else, or can I let this lady go back to her desk?
Nope.
Nope.
That's about it.
We done.
Great.
We got what we
Thanks,
need.
Franks. Hey, I made a rhyme.
You're astonishing, mostly.
Don't call me that in front of the lady, wise guy. Thank God I can take this thing off again. Damn, it's hot.
And yet here I am in a big leather coat.
Okay, anything else?
I think that's it. No, case status.
What's the status on the Voodoo Murders case?
It's going. I can't seem to make any progress, though. Sluggish damn case. It's weird.
Consult him.
Trying for a real estate job with that coat?
No? Are you trying out for a janitorial job with that hair?
And we're done. I think that's everything we need right now. What else are we missing? Need to go see Malia. Still need to sell the painting. I don't know how I'm going to trigger that in this version. Teeny tiny gate. not sure if it's today that the hot dog thing. Yeah, it does happen on today. Oh, I need gift certificate.
The vendor wouldn't be interested in seeing that.
Really? I thought that was how I got it.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Yep, I mind, all right.
Why?
Because A, I don't know anything, and B, I'm busy.
Oh.
Oh, hey! I'll come back here. Hey! Oh, unbelievable. Rotten luck.
Okay, so now I get... Oh. I need to stop double clicking.
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Got any money?
Nope.
There you have it. No.
Can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay, then.
What would the little boy do with that?
I'm sure.
I have this gift certificate.
I'm busy.
It's good for $20 at St. George's Books. Finest bookstore in New Orleans.
Really? I'll have to check it out sometime.
You could take this gift certificate with you. If you'll give me a doobie dog.
A doobie dog for a $20 gift certificate? Sure, here you go.
Okay, so I just had to wait for the event to happen first. Stuff the hot dog in the pocket.
You wouldn't like a doobie dog by any chance.
Would I?
Nom 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 nom.
Thanks, mister. You got any special requests? Let me know.
You mentioned something about special requests.
Yeah, you got one?
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Can I? Just watch me.
Good. There's something in there I can't quite reach.
Child labor.
Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing. Here you go.
Thanks, kid.
Yup. See ya.
As I fold it, ruining the artwork forever.
Stupid wind. Now I have to start all over.
This belongs to you, doesn't it?
My drawing. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, hey?
I have just the thing you can help me with.
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
The pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. Okie dokie. Well, I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these, I'll see what I can do.
You mean this other one that I happen to have?
I have another one of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it.
there anything I knew at the church?
Rows of pews line each side of the nave's aisle. Someone is in that confessional. Someone is in that confessional.
Where was it? There was something here. Remember. To Malia Gede. Ooh, very nice.
May I help you?
Yes, I'm a police officer.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business.
Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Getty. Miss Getty will see you. Right this way. Miss Getty will be down shortly.
Welcome to the parlor. Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Let us talk.
A few questions, Miss Getty?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen.
She looks
or
much
heard
different than
anything
what I
unusual
expected.
at the lake. And I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced.
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh? Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm no expert. I don't fear them like most people do.
Tell me about your life in New Orleans.
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
Going through all the
I believe
options.
it's some sort of local holiday, but I don't know much about it.
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
I've heard of her, of course, but that's about it.
Do you have any idea what Capri Saint-Caux means?
No, I don't. What does it mean, Detective?
That's confidential information, ma'am. Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
What kind of things interest you?
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Really? Would I be
Tell me
wealthy?
about your family.
I'll take that price.
We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
Oh, I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you. Or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective. But that's really none of your concern.
I'm sorry. Go on.
There are, of course, other Gettys in the city. I have a large extended family.
I see. Do you have a husband, boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women
She
in
don't
my
need no
family
man.
always preferred it that way.
So, you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
Tell me about anything. Tell me everything about you.
I have a business degree from Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology, but my family's interests came first.
Oh, why not something like law, then? Surely that would have been an asset to the family.
Law? Please. I do have some morals, Detective.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
As you wish, Detective.
Do I show her anything?
You'll have to get her to cooperate first.
Isn't she cooperating?
Does this badge mean anything to you?
It got you in to see me, Detective, so it obviously means something to me.
You'll have to get her to cooperate first.
Would you mind...
Not at all.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Animal masks? I don't know what you mean.
Fine, flirt with her.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job.
Flirt some more.
I can't help noticing that you're in incredible shape, Miss Getty. Your legs are so strong.
You are a
Do
sleazebag.
you work out at one of the clubs by the lake?
Well, Detective, I do enjoy physical activity.
Oh, me too.
Actually, I was referring to swimming and modern dance. I can't say that I do much exercising at the lake, though.
Ah,
Hi, Tipo.
well, it was worth asking.
Welcome to the stream.
I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out.
Smackdown.
Robert? Show Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
That's all you can say, just shit. French Quarter.
Hello, beautiful. It's me.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
Do I have anything for her to research?
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
I need you to look up a Madame Casino.
Madame Casino? Is she related to the murders the same way your friend Malia Getty was?
Grace, Casino's at least 70.
As if that makes a difference to you. Okay, I'll see what I can find.
I guess it's not today I saw the painting.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
Leave me, Grace. It's late. The dream again. It's interesting, in the original game you only saw the dream once at the very start. Slightly different this time around. Yeah. Drawn to the halls of learning, I sought there to conspire, but it was in the city of the dead that I found my heart's desire. Ooh, excuse me. I had a long day. I might call the stream a bit early today.
Join us today. I've got messages when you want them. I also checked out Casino. There are multiple listings in the white pages. I got the page, but you'll have to figure out the right one.
Great. Thanks.
Now, are you gonna tell me what happened yesterday with Malia Getty, or is it just too embarrassing? Don't tell me you actually got to see her.
All the stars I'll deny.
Gabriel, you don't seriously think she's interested. She can have any man in the city. You know, men with bank accounts.
You underestimate the Knight family's tragic poet samurai appeal. When Daddy married Mom, she was the hottest catch in town.
I always suspected there was something fishy in your family tree. But seriously, I think you should be careful.
Meow, Grace.
I'm serious. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about this.
It's called jealousy, my dear. And you're right, you should be jealous of Malia Getty. As should every woman on this planet.
I just... never mind. I'll just fix these books. Your life is in your own slippery little hands.
The point is to get it into somebody else's hands. And soon.
Ooh, excuse me. There we go. Give me my messages.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have any idea what Capri Saint-Caux means?
No. Sounds French, though.
Do you have messages for me?
Your pal Mosley called. He left a message that they are interrogating a suspect this morning, and you might want to be there.
Sounds fun.
I bet.
Do you have messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
Oh, that's it. Boring.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Wasn't she a big voodoo queen before the Civil War?
That's right.
Well, you've just heard everything I know about her.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? Never heard of it. Must be a local custom. New Orleanians love to party.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I'd rather not hear about your sex life, Knight.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Doing a family tree, Gabriel?
Very funny. I mean real snakes, you know, scaly, cold-blooded. I would have thought you'd find them empathetic.
I know very little about reptiles of any kind, and prefer to keep it that way. I think there's a book on snakes around here somewhere, though.
Okay, thanks.
I think I've asked those already.
What do you know about voodoo?
I've told you all I know. Sorry I can't be more help.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
You won't get far questioning me about it, Sherlock.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I've only been here 2 months, but I love it. It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It feels like anything's possible here.
Everything. So no guy coming in to buy the painting yet? Bill? Oh, read the paper. Always read the paper.
Dated June 20th, 1993. Gabriel scans over an uninteresting front page. Under the cultural events section, there's a notice about a lecture on African religions. The lecture is at Tulane University. Gabriel's horoscope for the day. An evil eye is upon you. Change your course before it's too late.
Lighten up.
Let us go.
See you later.
See ya.
Okay, let's go to the police station.
A drummer has decided to sit up outside the police station.
Hey.
The drummer looks at Gabriel but says nothing in return.
Go on through the tiny little itty bitty gate. Because it is off angle.
Give me back my badge. Now, Knight.
Sure. Thanks for letting me borrow it.
Yeah? You borrow it again, and your history. Now, about today. Glad you made it. It'll give you a feel for how I am in action. You know, handling suspects, that sort of thing.
I'm sure it'll be invigorating. Who is this guy, anyway?
Calls himself Crash. He's been an informant for us before, mostly helping us bust small-time pimps and dealers trying to break into the territory. He's been staying invisible during these murders, but we picked him up this morning at Jackson Square pushing coke. He knows something. Call it detective's instinct.
Detective's instinct. Got it.
All right, Crash. I want to hear about these murders. Have you been present at the so-called voodoo rituals?
I don't know nothing. All right, I told you.
Come on now. You can tell me. Do you know anyone who's been to these rituals?
Look, I can't say nothing. You gotta let me go.
Relax. No one knows you're here. The men who picked you up were in plain clothes.
Plain clothes? Like you could fool them. They know I'm here. They've got ears all over the city. They know everything.
Who are they, Crash? Are they the ones doing the murders?
Let me go.
If you're so worried about being detained, start talking. You tell me what I want to hear, and maybe I can get you into the witness protection program. But you gotta earn it.
Witness protection? Are you crazy? Oh, don't make me laugh. Oh, Jesus, just let me out of here.
Oh, come on. Who's behind these murders, Crash? Why are the victims all members of the underworld?
Oh, by now they know I'm here. It's different when I'm supposed to come here. Oh, if I can send a message. Yeah. Tell him I didn't say nothing.
Christ, he's freaking useless. Just take him back to detaining, would you, Tony?
You can hold off for treats. Treats will happen later.
Like this, I kill for truth serum. Damn civil rights.
Can I quote you on that?
Huh? Hell no. Damn, we can only keep him for 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna have to let him go. Sorry it wasn't more exciting. You know, for the book, I mean. Hey, maybe you could punch it up some. You know, what do they call that? Fiction. That's it.
It certainly is. I'll see what I can do.
I think that's all we needed from here.
Well,
Matt, what are you
I'll be
doing?
seeing you.
Have a good one.
Okay, so we've done that.
A sign on the front door of Magenta's home reads, "Attuning with the spirit realm," back on June 22nd.
Okay, so nothing about her. So, university? Yes.
It looks like the lecture is just starting.
Voodoo is the tribal religion of Africa, but the name Voodoo is actually a banner heading, under which resides an entire body of distinct tribal belief systems. The word voodoo may sound familiar to you. What is known in the States as voodoo is actually an amalgamation of African religious systems, voodoo, and European religions, primarily Catholicism. All of these subcults of African voodoo have certain things in common. The most important is the worship of a pantheon of spirits, instead of the single deity that the Christian and Muslim systems have. Some of these spirits are elementals. Some relate to specific tasks or places. Some represent important tribal leaders who have died. This spirit worship is what makes voodoo so easily adaptable. With all these spirits, it's no problem to add a few more. Say, for example, the Virgin Mary. At the height of tribal Africa, warfare was common. One tribe would conquer another, and the Loa, important in the conqueror's tribal system, would be adopted readily into the conquered tribe's Loa pantheon. In this way, many of the voodoo cults spread and mingled throughout tribal Africa. enriching the belief system and causing innumerable offshoots. The basis for the Voodoo religion seems to be as old as man himself. It has much in common with many early pagan practices. Animal totems, sympathetic magic, elemental spirits in the trees, the heavens, the bodies of the sick. Africa is believed by many to be the cradle of the human race. Some of the Voodoo Loa may be as old as the Garden of Eden itself. We still can't explain some of the real power of these primal religions. And note, I said primal, not primitive. There are African Bokors who baffle our scientists with their supernatural powers. Now, let's discuss the elements of Voodoo.
Fascinating guy.
In Voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa. During a Voodoo ceremony, celebrants are possessed by the Loa. This is called being ridden. The human worshipper is seen as a horse, and the Loa as the divine horseman. A person being ridden by a Loa takes on the characteristics of that
Loa?
and becomes,
Loa.
in effect, merely a vessel for the more powerful entity. Some of the older original Africa Loa include Dambala, the great serpent god, Ezuli, the mistress of love, Papa Nebo, or Gede, the lord of death, Awe, the spirit of water, Legba, spirit of the crossroads, and the cruelest and most dangerous, Ogun Badagri, the lord of destruction.
I gotta get more sleep at night.
Tribe-specific Loa can have as much or more power as the more widely worshipped Loa. For instance, a particular tribe might revere highly the Loa of an ancestor who was a legendary hunter or politician. Voodoo temples are called Houndfors. Their priests, Houngan or Bokors, their priestesses, Mama Loa. In a Voodoo Houndfor, there's a ritual circle marked by a center pole called a Poto Meton. During ritual conclaves, initiates dance under the supervision of a Bokor and a Mama Loa, or head priestess. The use of totems, or animal masks and markings, was not uncommon in the original African ceremonies. Now, though, all but the oldest sects have abandoned this practice. Ritual objects used during the conclaves included the ritual gourd, or asan, the ritual knife, or kubasa,
That knife gives me the chills.
the ritual whip, or fouetcache, and the ritual coffin, or seke madule. These items are often optional, called for by the Mama Loa for specific magical rituals. The Mama Loa is the most powerful figure in any Voodoo sect. Voodoo is a truly matriarchal system. Even the Bokor knows his power is limited. The Mama Loa is the supreme woman. She goes out of the house at night, sees many things, and tries to get butterflies, and at night again she sees other things, including fireflies.
I like how they did that transition.
Gabriel?
What? Can't see.
Gabriel, get in.
Can't. It's too small for me.
You must get in, Gabriel.
It's not mine. Too small.
Hide, Gabriel, hide.
No! Let me out! Help!
Young man, the lecture is over.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Woohoo, points. Okay, I need to exit because I need to get something first. I need to get my finish thing.
How's it going today?
What? Oh, it's only you. Man, I have been jumpy all day. That pattern of yours really freaked me out for some reason. There's just something creepy.
You finished it?
Yeah, and you're welcome to it. Here.
Wow. This is great.
Uh-huh, yeah, just don't, like, blow up the planet with it or something, okay?
I didn't mean to upset you.
Ah, forget it. I'm probably just being stupid. Do your thing with it, and, good luck.
Yes, let's see what it looks like.
The reconstructed Veve was done for Gabriel by a technical artist.
Yay, the Veve. What's over here? Oh yeah, the crazy lady. Come on.
Come on, boys, hoopla!
Oh, okay. Forgot about that part.
Not a bad idea. Baby, I love the way you move.
Madame Lorelei winks knowingly at Gabriel and twitches her hips.
Yep, she wants me.
Thanks, boys.
The extra veil.
Gabriel examines the veil with the magnifying glass. The fortune teller's veil is studded with sequins. The sequins look a little strange. Why, it's a snake scale. Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to remove the snake scale from the veil.
I want... Boop.
I think this veil belongs to you.
Oh, my veil! I'm always losing those things. You have no idea. Well, darling, you're such a sweetie to return a lady's delicates, and so handsome as well.
Well,
And since you have such a clear interest in fortune-telling, let me see your hands. They look so strong. Perhaps they will make both our fortunes clear, no?
I wish something would.
Strong, yes, and yet so delicate and flexible.
You don't know the half of it.
Ow, kitty.
Oh,
Pause.
good. I see a mysterious woman in your immediate future.
Madame Lorelei winks at Gabriel knowingly.
She is a dangerous one, dark and beautiful. Oh, I see the road of your life forking, and very soon.
The blood drains from Madame Lorelei's face in an instant. Sweat beads on her upper lip.
Are you okay?
There are forces. Oh God, beware! Beware!
What is it about me lately?
Ominous. Ominous ladies. In the church now.
Someone is in that confetti.
Not in that one.
May I help you, my child?
Can I ask you a few questions?
The confessional is not the best place for interviews, son. You can contact the parish offices if you need private counseling.
I understand. Thanks, Father.
Is there anything else?
Could you
Bless
give
me.
a blessing?
Do you feel the need for a blessing?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
All right, if it will comfort you.
The priest blesses Gabriel through the confessional window.
Peace be with you, son.
Thank you, Father.
Is there anything else?
Confess my sins. I said confess my
I'd like
sins.
to make a confession.
All right, if it'll make you feel better.
Impure thoughts, pranks on Mosley, unpaid assistant, selfish person, overall apology, womanizer. Overall apology.
I just need to give an overall apology to the universe.
I see. Apology noted.
Thanks, Father.
Is there anything else?
I've had impure thoughts about a woman I met.
Impure thoughts? You mean thoughts of sexual relations?
You could say that, but worse than what you mean.
Worse? You mean extreme sexual relations?
Well, not involving animals or anything.
Oh, well. Perhaps we should just leave it at that. Pray for forgiveness and say 10 rosaries. Is there anything else?
I've done some pretty rotten things to my friend Mosley.
Rotten? What do you mean?
Practical jokes, insults, among other things.
I see. Are you sorry?
Well...
Pray for forgiveness and say 3 rosaries. Is there anything
Up,
else?
we're up to 13.
I haven't paid my assistant for 3 months.
Have you had the money?
Nope.
Sounds like a matter for the courts, son, not the church. Is there anything else?
Some people say I'm a selfish person, Father.
We can always strive to improve ourselves. Patterns can be broken.
Yes. Thank you, Father.
Is there anything else?
Womanizer.
A lot of women, Father.
A lot? More than 10?
Yes, Father.
More than 20?
Yes, Father.
More than 40?
Yes, Father.
Son, I don't think this is a matter for a priest. I think you need a good therapist.
If we're counting therapists, then I'm up to at least, let's see here, count of the 1, and this might take a while.
My son, I'm afraid my lunch break is coming on about now. Pray for forgiveness and say 20 rosaries.
We're up to, what is that, 33.
On second thought, when you finish the math, say that many rosaries.
Gabriel hears him leave the confessional.
I should probably add 1 more rosary for that while I'm at it. I've been a bad boy.
A meshed window provides access to the confessional from the priest's booth. The panel behind the mesh window moves from the other side.
Okay, so I want exit. I'm guessing this is how.
I've always wondered how the other half lives.
This is must be one of the things they changed.
There's a box under the shelf of the priest's confessional.
Because I don't remember this ever being a thing.
Inside the box,
Yes,
Gabriel finds
this
a
definitely
priest
changed.
collar and some oil used for blessing. That oil is for holy purposes, not the sort of thing Gabriel would want to use it for.
You never know when a priest's collar will come in handy.
Okay. I remember we need the collar. I'm not sure about the oil. So let's just start with all the talking.
Are you a student?
No. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Well, you've already interrupted and slept through my lecture, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit to some interest. But according to the newspapers, The voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treat voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery, in turn, has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps you should read my books.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care to about reptiles.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
A burning wheel? Huh. Do you know what Capri Sancour means?
Capri Sancour? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, bulls, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
What was that translation for Capri Sancour again?
It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting, from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Do you know anything about veves?
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
Tell me about Damballa.
Damballa is one of the major Rada Loa, also known as Damballa Wedo. He is an ancient Dahomean rain god, often represented as a large boa constrictor. Damballa is the most powerful and most violent of the Rada Loa. The Rada Loa are typically benevolent, as opposed, say, to the Patro Loa. He is still worshipped heavily in Haiti, and when voodoo first started in New Orleans, the early conclaves were reportedly based on the worship of the great zombie, the great serpent Damballa.
Damballa!
Tell me more about Damballa.
I have extensive courses in the Loa running next semester. Perhaps you should take one of those, Mr. Knight.
Tell me about Ogun Badagry.
Ogun Badagry is one of the Patro Loa. The Patro Loa are much more violent than the Rada Loa. Some people believe the Patro Loa originated in Haiti, but I have found some evidence that the Patro Loa were African as well, though worshipped only by a small voodoo tribe, and a very bloody one.
Tell me more about Ogun Badagry.
He is a chief nasty, Mr. Knight. He is the spirit of war and destruction.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible, if that's what the gods demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Ezuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Ezuli is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Houngan tremble before a possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papa Nebo. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered. or that Loire will simply take it for themselves.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
I wouldn't dwell on it. Most voodoo sects probably haven't seen a human sacrifice for several generations.
Alright, so I want to start with that.
Can you tell me anything about this?
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Mind if I copy this?
Be my guest.
Great. I'll be right back. Here you go. You know, this is a fascinating veve. You must tell me all about its origin.
Actually, I was hoping you'd tell me. Can you figure out anything about it from the symbols?
Well, some. That's why I wanted a copy. I want to research the design myself.
Have you heard of the voodoo murders?
No. You're kidding. Really? Then the voodoo is authentic. The newspapers are wrong. Boy, are they wrong.
You think this veve is authentic?
Authentic? Mr. Knight, that's like asking if the Mona Lisa is a painting. Tell you what, I'll look into these symbols myself and see what I can learn about the sect that made this. I'll give you a call when I have more information. You are associated with the police, aren't you?
Absolutely. But I'm undercover. You can contact me at St. George's Bookshop in the corner.
All right. Now, I'd like to get started on this, if you don't mind.
But there's more!
Is there anything you can tell me about the voodoo aspects of this photograph?
This is a serious voodoo ritual. Nasty stuff.
In what way?
Let's see. I can't make out much detail from this photograph, except for the corpse, of course. But the wound, the face, and what little I can see of the ritual paraphernalia, it reminds me of certain black voodoo practices. Very rare. I've never witnessed them myself, you understand.
Really? Interesting. Thanks.
Is there anything else I need to show him? Oh yeah, I still need to do the phone book.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I've never seen those symbols. Therefore, they're probably meaningless.
Really? Are you sure?
I'm never wrong, Mr. Knight. For sure is not in my vocabulary.
I think that's it.
I'll see you later.
Goodbye.
I knew you'd miss me, so I came back.
Really? I forgot you were gone.
Okay, so... Okay. I'm gonna have to write some stuff down. Ugh. Casino. Okay, so they're all 5, 5, 5. Come on, pen, work. 0127, 0122, 0128, 0123. Oh, yes, that's right. And I'm gonna have to call the vets. 555 0170. Phone. Maybe I don't have to write it. Didn't have to write it down. Oh, I didn't. So 555 0127.
Hello. Is this the Casino residence?
Yes. What can I do for you?
Do you or does anyone in your family patronize the Dixieland drugstore?
I'm a busy man. What are you selling?
Nothing.
Good. Goodbye.
Okay, so not that one. So 555 0122.
Hi, Casanau residence.
Hi. I was wondering if you could help me.
Yeah?
A woman in the Dixieland drugstore dropped her purse today, and the name Casino was inside it.
Dixieland drugstore? Never heard of it. Sorry.
Okay, so not that one. So 555 0128.
Hello?
Hello, I'm calling from the Dixieland drugstore. We have an order for you.
Castro, be quiet. Who is this?
I'm a friend of the owner.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, so it's Casino A. So now 555 0170. Because we must find out who Castro belongs to.
Do you have a Madame Casino as a client?
Madame Casino? Sure, I know her. She's not here right now, though.
Really? She told me she'd be there. Would you happen to have her address by any chance?
Yes, but I'm not sure I should give it out. Who are you again?
I'm worried about
I'm
Castro.
worried about Castro. He's missed 3 dance lessons.
Castro? Her little doggy? Oh, he's so sweet. I guess if you know Castro, it's okay. Her address is 345 Dauphine.
Thanks.
Everybody collapses under dog love. Still nothing with regards to the painting.
No. 3 snakes in a skull.
What a wacky offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
Grace keeps her art supplies here.
Okay, what's the matter? What?
Gabriel checks the drawer again, just in case life as we know it changed significantly since he last looked.
I need money.
Gabriel doesn't want to take that with him.
Give me the money.
Gabriel doesn't want to take that with him.
I need $100 for that mask.
I'll be back later.
Have fun.
Casino. Oh, there it is. Now, to do this...
This black shirt won't get me into Madame Casino's by itself. I'll have to dress it up a little.
Oh, so I gotta combine them first. So this combined with this.
This disguise is almost ready. I hate to say it, but I need to style my hair to be more... respectable.
Alright, so... boop. Okay, there we go.
Alright, but this is private.
Yes? Who is it?
Oh god, your horrible voice.
It's Father McLaughlin to see you.
Father McLaughlin, you say? You must be new in the parish. I'm so pleased to meet you, Father. Do come in.
Thank you, my child.
Oh God, the voice changed.
Please be seated, Father.
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
Let's ask her a whole bunch.
Good Castro.
How do I ask
Mind
her?
if I ask you a few questions, my child?
Of course not, mon père.
Oh God, he looks so weird. He looks so old, but her voice is so wrong.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
People think I'm just a foolish old woman, but I know the things they do. My family's been in New Orleans since 1750, so I know more than most. Voodoo people are all over the city, in the shops, everywhere. They'll curse you like that, and most people don't even notice. Spit on your bread at the bakery. Take strands of your hair at the store when you try on clothes. Oh, you have to be so careful. But I know their ways, so I can protect myself. I know how to use the magic too, and I can counteract their evil spells.
They're evil.
Tell me more about voodoo in New Orleans.
It's just plain evil. It's dangerous to even discuss it.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Voodoo murders? Ha! They are nothing new to me, Father. They happen all the time. I hardly go out anymore. It's too dangerous in the streets. They can get you anywhere, you know. Even here, in this room. But I try not to let them know about me. That's the best way.
What else do you know about the voodoo murders?
Shh! They'll hear you.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
The only true New Orleans are of French origin, you know? My family were among the original settlers of New Orleans. They came here from France. The Creole society used to be so gay in New Orleans. Now, it barely hangs on by its fingernails.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes. They're evil creatures. Did you know that evil people can send them into your dreams? They can. That's why I never sleep.
Right, thanks. Do you know anything else about snakes?
It would be bad luck to talk about that anymore.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
Oh, St. John's Eve, Mary. I used to love the St. John's Eve Mass at St. Louis Cathedral. Of course, it is also a night of great wickedness, worse than All Hallows Eve. They will corrupt anything, Father.
They? They who?
Oh, you know.
What else can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I don't think I should say any more about that.
Do you have any idea what Caprice encore means?
Maybe. I know. I bet you do not know, Father, n'est-ce pas?
Don't eat the chili, that's too bad.
It means goat without horns.
Father, you surprised me. You do know what it means. You know what they mean by goat without horns, don't you? A human being. That's right. Slit your throat, cut out your heart. Pure evil murder.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, her. I could tell you about her. Voodoo Queen? Ah. My great-grandmother was an acolyte of Marie Laveau. She knows the truth about her.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She was only a front for the real evildoers, Father. And that's the truth about Marie Laveau.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about Veves?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
Oh, yes, Father. It is the wickedest kind. The kind they practice here in New Orleans.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
No, Father. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about human sacrifice here in New Orleans?
Well, my great-grandmother could tell stories. She saw it. People say that sort of thing wasn't done in New Orleans, but the real voodoo queens did it. Oh, yes.
Can you tell me anything else about human sacrifice?
What is to tell? They cut your heart out.
Who are the real voodoo queens?
Well, my great-grandmother told me that Laveau was just a front, a flamboyant decoy. She distracted authorities from the real voodoo queen of New Orleans. It's been the same one for almost 200 years. She's head of a secret voodoo enfant. That's what they call their temples, you know. It's so secret, most of the voodoo people in the city don't even know about it. The real voodoo queen controlled Laveau, gave her a little bit of power, and used her like a puppet.
Tell me more about this secret voodoo hound for.
Well, I've never seen it. I wouldn't go near it if you paid me. But it's here in New Orleans, I guarantee it. I hear their drums at night, oh yes. That's why I'm so ill, I tell you, those drums. But we shouldn't talk about it. They'll hear us. It's the devil's work that happens there, I can tell you. I'll show you something secret. You mustn't tell anyone, Father.
I swear on my collar.
Here it is, mon père. A true object of evil if ever there was one.
It radiates something, all right.
It belonged to my great-grandmother. She told my mother that it was a token to gain entrance to the real voodoo ceremonies.
You don't say.
To tell you the truth, I've always felt nervous about having it in the house. You know, evil influence and all.
I can see how you would, yes.
And yet, I could never part with it. It's been in the family for generations. Would you bless it for me, Father? I feel strange asking such a thing of you, but surely you understand.
Bless this bracelet of a snake. Even though its vibes aren't great, let it do nobody harm when they wear it on their arm. Voodoo spirits, go away. Don't come back another day. And now let us pray.
Now I use the clay.
Gabriel has a thought about the clay.
Bless, oh bless this circlet of silver. Take the curse, oh take it, Wilbur.
A lovely blessing, mon père.
Yes, I think it made a lasting impression. Here you go.
I feel so much better now.
I think that's all I need.
Au revoir, madame.
Adieu, mon père.
Adieu. Adieu.
I'm not going back on the street looking like this.
So, Napoleon House hasn't been on the map at all. I think that's everything.
I knew you'd miss me, so I came back.
Really? I forgot you were gone.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Research.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
I have a pattern I need you to research.
How interesting. What is it?
It's a reconstruction of the tracings they found around the murder victims. The ones done in flour and blood.
Yuck. You shouldn't carry this kind of thing around. Who knows what these symbols mean?
Well, wear your evil banishing gloves if you want, but check it out for me, would you?
I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
I can't think of anything. Do you know anything about black voodoo?
Black voodoo? Ugh, now what are you getting yourself into?
Nothing you need to know about, do you?
I know there are dark forms of any major religion. Where there's a yin, there's a yang.
Speaking of yin and yang...
But no, I don't know anything really about voodoo, dark or otherwise, sorry.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo houndfall?
In New Orleans?
I think so.
No, I don't, but it sounds dangerous. You're not gonna try to find this voodoo group yourself, are you?
Would I do that? Are you sure you don't know anything about black voodoo?
You are desperate. I told you I can't help you.
Do you know anything about veves?
Not a clue. Sorry.
And yeah, I just...
patterns used in voodoo.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I can't help you out, though.
Which is why I'm sending you to research it.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
No, sorry.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
Ew, no. Makes my skin crawl, though.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
You're the native. Don't ask me.
I'm missing the painting. Still haven't been to Grandmother Knight's.
I can go through the rest of that stuff some other time. Cute gargoyle, eh?
The gargoyle has no function but sheer ugliness. Not unlike... Oh, never mind.
But what am I forgetting?
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue stimulating.
What makes you think the voodoo murders aren't being done by local practitioners?
Voodoo is a popular boogeyman, Mr. Knight, especially in New Orleans. Anyone can pretend to use it, just as anyone can pretend to be a black belt in karate. And for the same reason, to intimidate. I know voodoo in this city, Mr. Knight, and believe me, it is not about killing. Even the police have stated that the killings have nothing to do with local voodoo.
So you know nothing about the voodoo murders case?
I neither know nor care to know, Mr. Knight. My only possible interest is in how it might affect the public's attitude towards the museum. So far, it has not been an issue. No one has even had the bad taste to bring it up. Until you, that is.
What is it about New Orleans that you so admire?
It has a real culture of its own, Mr. Knight. Amid the horrid blandness that is Americana, New Orleans alone has a voice.
Spoken like a true Norlinian. Do you know anything about a secret voodoo houndfall?
Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Knight. The voodoo churches in the city have no need for secrecy.
What else can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I am afraid I do not know the origins of St. John's Eve. I only know that it was a night of ritual long before voodoo came to New Orleans.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Of course. It is one of the Loa.
What can you tell me about the Loa Damballa?
Damballa is a snake Loa. It originated in Africa, and is also worshipped heavily in Haiti, I believe.
Do you worship Damballa?
Mr. Knight, in Voodoo, all of the Loa are given their due respect.
What else can you tell me about the Loa Damballa?
I am afraid I have little else to say about that subject.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
I do not believe so.
Isn't he one of the Loa?
Perhaps. I am not familiar with some of the more obscure Haitian and African Loa.
Are you sure you don't know anything about Ogun Badagri?
Quite sure, Mr. Knight.
Is this snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight. But snakes, like the museums, can be quite dangerous to handle.
You didn't really answer my question.
I think I did, Mr. Knight.
Do you know anything about veves?
I believe they have something to do with Haitian voodoo. But that is not really my area.
Do you know anything else about veves?
I am afraid I have little else to say about that subject.
Are you sure you can't educate me further about animal masks?
Unfortunately, I do not know much about totem masks. The practice was more African than American, and that is not my area of expertise.
Okay, thanks. Do you know anything about black voodoo?
That sort of viewpoint makes my work very difficult, Mr. Knight. If there are one or two ignorant believers, that is none of my concern, and I do not care to promote a Hollywood interpretation of voodoo by discussing it.
You really don't know anything about black voodoo practices?
I believe I already indicated my intolerance for that line of inquiry.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I've given you as much detail as I can, Mr. Knight. Look around the museum if you desire more information.
The iridescent scale is hued olive green. It doesn't seem to match the scale from Lake Pontchartrain.
Could you look at this and tell me if you recognize anything about the ritual?
This is truly offensive. This is from one of those recent killings, is it not?
Well, actually...
But the police already know that this so-called voodoo ritual is fake. Voodoo is a respectable religion. This kind of thing has nothing to do with voodoo in the city.
Fine, let's say that's true. Are you sure there's nothing about the items in this photo?
There is nothing about this sickness that I would identify as voodoo. Nothing.
Thanks for looking,
then.
Does this pattern look familiar to you?
Where did you get that?
You do recognize it then?
I have never seen it before in my life.
Are you sure about this pattern?
I am sure, Mr. Knight.
How about that?
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
No. They look like nonsense to me. Where did you get them, if I might inquire?
I saw them scribbled somewhere. Just graffiti, I guess.
I see. By the way, I forgot to warn you, Mr. Knight. The local cemeteries are quite dangerous. Buggers, vandals. I would avoid going there alone if I were you.
Really? Thanks for the advice.
Are you threatening me? Nothing else from him. What if I mess with the switch now?
What does this do?
Turn that thing off.
Oh, sorry.
We have air conditioning, you see.
Yeah, I see.
The voodoo shrine is filled with items that both fascinate Gabriel and also make his skin crawl.
Professor Hartridge called this a Sakei Madule.
Nothing new there.
Bye now.
Come back again.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want. I answer what I want.
Are you telling me that you own a voodoo shop, but you know nothing about voodoo practices?
Ça n'est pas ça faire blanc.
What does that mean?
It means you should mind your own business, monsieur.
What do you think of Nolans?
I live here all my life, me.
What do you think of Nolans?
If you're not from around here, monsieur, you should sign up for some tours.
I found out what Cabri Sanko means. How did you know about human sacrifice?
I never said them words, monsieur. You must have heard them from someone else.
Look, I'm researching voodoo for a book.
I don't have your answers, me. You want to buy something, monsieur?
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo houndfall?
There's no such thing. Not around here.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
Black voodoo? No such thing. I tell you for sure.
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
Marie? She's somebody from the old days. One of them old folk tales. The tourists eat it up, no?
What else do you know about Marie Laveau?
I don't know much, monsieur. Someone at the Voodoo Museum can tell you all about her.
What else do you know about Marie Laveau?
I don't know much, monsieur.
Okay, so that's just looping.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
Don't talk like that around here, man.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Damballa is an African legend about a great serpent. Folklore, that's all.
Do you know anything about veves?
Like the ones in the voodoo rituals they do for the tourists?
Right.
They curiosities, no? This a curio shop.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Would you take 50 for Willie Jr.?
Don't insult me, monsieur. The price is $120.
What? You said you'd sell it for 100 before.
You misheard, monsieur. The price was always 120.
Would you take 50?
Don't insult me.
As to lower the price goes up. That's the way it should be.
Could you look at this bracelet mold and tell me if you've ever seen anything like it before?
No, man. I don't know nothing about that.
Do you recognize this pattern?
Don't look familiar at all, monsieur.
Look at this murder.
This photograph?
Murder.
Gabriel Sanko.
Gabriel Sanko? What does that mean?
Nothing, man. I didn't say nothing like that. You heard me wrong, man.
That would be another way to get it. Nothing from there. What am I missing?
The sign says the Overlook's closed for repairs until June 21st.
Got that, got that.
A sign on the front door.
He's still
that
out.
enters home reads, Attuning with the spirit realm, back on June 22nd. The marks are reddish in color and... Gabriel can't take the marks.
Are they the same? Are they different?
Gabriel already copied the mark.
Oh,
I'll need to
same.
go visit the family tomb.
Ah, this is what I'm missing.
Malia?
Mr. Knight, what are you doing here?
My family's tomb is here.
Mine too.
Unnoticed. Subtle.
Well, Mr. Knight, if there's nothing else,
Don't go. I need to talk to you.
whatever for.
I can't stop thinking about you. I've been in your thoughts too. I can see it in your eyes.
Mr. Knight, you don't know anything about me. I'm not in a position to get involved.
I've said that a million times myself, but this is different. I think we both know we can't fight it. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this.
I have so many obligations. My family is very traditional. You wouldn't understand.
Hey, I love tradition. I've seen Fiddler on the Roof 100 times.
This isn't a musical, Mr. Knight. We live in different worlds.
Look, I know you got more money than God. Do you think I care? Do you think that's why I'm saying this?
No, I don't.
Why don't you come see my world? I've got a little bookshop, St. George's on Bourbon.
I know.
See, I knew it. You're crazy about me too. Come by tonight, please. My world isn't so bad.
I'm sorry, but there's no place for someone like you in my life. Not now, not ever.
Damn it.
I just want love. Love from the hot rich lady.
It's getting late. Gabriel
Oh, there we go.
decides to go home for the day.
Excuse me. I'm going inside.
Oh, I'm afraid St. George's is closed for the day.
I'm not a customer. I'm here to see the owner.
Why don't you just leave your name and number with me, and I'll tell him you stopped by.
Listen, if Gabriel is here, he'll want to see me. Is he? Here?
I really couldn't say for certain, but in the morning...
Gracie, say goodnight.
Alright, so this will be a good place to end it once the next day starts.
You came. I didn't think you would.
I didn't think I would either.
Your eyes. I could show you around a little. It's not much, but...
Please don't. I couldn't focus on much of anything right now.
Yeah, I know. God, what is it about you?
Just shut up and kiss me.
Just shut up and kiss me! Day 4. I spoke to one who smelled of death. He gave to me his ears, and crosses that were marked were made into veils of tears.
You're not speaking to me this morning?
Don't be silly. I just have nothing to say.
Have it your way. Have you noticed this guy outside the shop?
Yeah, he gives me the creeps. I wish he'd go away.
Did you find out anything about that pattern I gave you?
Yeah, I did find something. I checked the microfiche at the public library. I found an article about a murder in 1810. The newspaper published part of a pattern found around the body. It looks damn close.
You're incredible. All that work.
Forget it.
Yay. Alright, so I'm going to call it there. We're about a third of the way in the game. Save. So call it there. Because there's still a ways to go, and this is my usual ending point for streams anyway, so... Technically I should be going for another hour, but I am tired. First day on a new job. I'm tired. So with that said, everybody, I will bid you all a fond adieu until next time. Shoutouts to Jero, who subscribed today.